sunshine, rocking the good time with all our friends. Easy and carefree, out in the summer breeze, loving a simple thanks for hours on end. Right about sundown, we lay on the ground, count on the stars as they come out one at a time. Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey everybody, I'm X Factor winner Tate Stevens, and welcome to the Sweet Life Podcast, where we talk about everything from music, sports, food, entertainment, and, well, just living the sweet life. Hey everybody, it's me, Tate Stevens. Thanks for joining and tuning in this week, and as always, AJ Kronk.
Yes, sir.
Every time. Now, this time is not orange. This is just a regular...
This is the standard black can monster.
Yeah. Standard issue.
It's the standard issue.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I hope everybody had a great Christmas. We're coming into the new year, just after the new year here. A lot of things to talk about. But this is going to be a little heavy. This show will be a little bit heavy. Try not to get too bad and all that. But first off, thanks for everybody for all the great presents. Fan club sent me some awesome stuff. Appreciate that. That was awesome. And did you have a good Christmas?
It was okay.
Yeah, right.
A little bittersweet.
Right.
It's all right.
Right,
you know.
right. Yeah, mine was good. You know, it was good to be with my kids and stuff like that, you know, and everybody at the house and all that. I got a lot of good stuff for Christmas. They gave me a lot of stuff, which is good. I didn't get them very much anything, but they got me a lot. No, had a good Christmas. And you know, even with the bad news looming, you know, it was still a good Christmas and a lot to be thankful for and grateful for and all that. New year and 2022 already. It's like, golly, I look back and I'm like halfway, you know, in last August, I'm like, okay, I got a long way to go. And then, you know, done. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. So, coming into the new year, had some losses and some bad things happen in the family and friends and all that. And it's one of those things that we don't, as a nation, we don't talk about a lot, and there's not a lot of outlets for like mental health issues. Not that you and I have mental health issues. Well, I kind of do, but but you know what I mean. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today a little bit. Is you know, how to deal with some of the stuff that people go through and life and and all that. So and right now, I mean, like, you know, with the COVID thing, still running rampant right now in this area. It's hard to like focus on much of anything else, you know. You're trying to stay safe, you're trying to do the right thing, and you know, and whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, it doesn't even matter. I mean, it's like, God, every day it seems like somebody else I know has COVID.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just today, 3 more people that I know tested positive. And it's like, you know, come on, man. You know, enough's enough.
Yeah.
You know, but with that being said, the mental health part of it, or the mental struggle that a lot of people are facing right now with the death of family members and friends and all that, and just the thought of, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like every day the numbers just keep increasing. You know, are we getting shut down again? Is this, you know, what's going to happen? But, you know, we'll see about that. But kind of getting back to the mental health and having an outlet, you know, music is an outlet for me. I can just go sing a song and play guitar and whatever and write and do whatever. And I can kind of help myself a little bit, you know, in which most writers and stuff like that, that's kind of how we write songs. Anyway, the majority, you know, through some sort of trial or tribulation we've been through, we can write about it, you know, and sometimes those are not easy. Right. You know, Craig Morgan, his song, The Father my Son, and the Holy Ghost. I mean, it's about Jerry, his boy that drowned, you know? And he wrote that. He sat down and he wrote it. And that came from all the hurt and the sorrow and sadness. But on the backside, you know, there is that kind of silver lining. You know, at the end of the song, he's like, you know, I'll be with him again when I'm with the Father, my Son, and the Holy Ghost. You know what I mean? So he kind of ties it all together with that. But with that being said, like, you know, musicians, we deal with things a little differently than a lot of people can, just because we can write, or, you know, not that we're the only people that write.
Right.
Non-musician people write songs and stuff like that too. But, you know, that kind of helps just writing stuff down.
Yeah.
You know, it gives it life.
Yep.
Good or bad, it gives it life, but it can create a plan or a strategy to get better or get over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because you're seeing it and I used to tell Hayden when he was in college and stuff, I said, write your goals down. Same kind of thing. Write them down so you can see them, you know? And every day when you look at it, what did I do to get better here, or what did I do to reach that today? You know what I mean? Same kind of thing. You write stuff down, your feelings, you write them down. They become real because you put them on paper, and now it's a real thing, not just inside. You let it out, which a lot of people need. They need that outlet to let things out. You know, we talked, obviously, you lost your cousin Daryl, good friend of mine. And it's one of those things that when you take inventory.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When things like that happen, you take inventory and you're like, okay, what do I need to work on myself? You know what I mean? Because not, and it's, you know, it's not out of pity or anything like that. I think it's just more of almost self-preservation.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Talking to another friend and about this very thing, and you learn because, you know, having trouble with family members or friends or whatever, you know, brothers, sisters, whatever it is, in times of tragedy and loss, there's things that people do, and you kind of see over my experience in life and with different things, you almost see the real person. When bad things happen, when somebody gets hurt, you almost see their real self, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like some people lash out.
Yep.
You know, and they're and not because they're mad, really. I mean, they're mad, but it's more lashed out because they're just protecting themselves, or they're trying to protect themselves, so they're lashing out at people.
Yeah.
And then you see the other side. It's the fight or flight kind of thing.
Sure.
You know, but then you see the other side where they just take it all in, and they build, it just builds and builds and builds and builds, which is terrible for you.
Yeah.
Awful for you.
That's me.
Yeah. I do that a lot, but then I kind of lash out, you know, and then it's bad, and then I feel terrible because you know, and they always say it's easier to hurt people you love.
Yeah.
You know, they're the easiest people to hurt, you know. It's because it's almost like, well, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
You know? So you kind of, you feel like you can hurt them. I don't know if that makes sense, but so everybody grieves differently.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, some people lash out, some people hide it, some people do different things. I'm a crier. You know, I cry, dude. I cry at commercials sometimes. I cry. I watched the movie today, and tears. You know, just it happens. I'm that guy. I'm a crier. Don't care. Doesn't bother me. You know, but it's some people aren't like that. Some people are the complete opposite. They don't cry. My mother-in-law she's the non-crier. She just, I mean, it takes
that you know of.
Now she don't cry in front of people.
Right.
She will go in a room probably, or when she's completely by herself and cry maybe, but she's not a big crier like that. So there's many, I mean, everybody, like I said, everybody grieves differently. Everybody deals with things differently. But one thing that we can help each other with, one thing that we can do is just talk about it. You know, and some people, it's hard for them to do. It's hard for people to talk about what's bothering them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think that's one of the best things we can do
Yeah.
for ourselves, because we got to let it go. You got to spit it out there. So, you're not the only one battling that demon, if you will.
Yeah.
Battling that thing. We, like I said, we all grieve differently, but it is better to talk about. And I'm not a doctor, I don't really know, but it helps me to talk about certain things. Now, certain things I'm okay with holding on to for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like you said, writing stuff down.
Yep.
That's almost as effective as talking about it.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have somebody that you can really talk to something about, just write it down.
And sometimes people don't think, I don't really have anybody to talk to. A lot of people, if you just call them, and say, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? And just kind of, and just talk to them.
Yeah.
Most people are just like, man, yeah, anytime you need it, just let me know.
Yeah.
I'm here for you. But we don't know that because, how often do you, hey, can I talk to you for a second? This is going to suck for a little bit, but, I'm going to tell you some bad things or whatever. But most people are pretty responsive and generally helpful, or listening. Like writing it down, because it gets it out.
Yeah.
And it makes it, that way you're not carrying it all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's bad for your health. It's medically proven that people who worry, and things like that, they carry all that stress. Stress is that's a huge killer for people. On your body. It wears your body down.
It does.
And so it's better to talk about it. It's better to, like I said, write it down, do something. I use music a lot, and to help me through situations, and it's pretty awesome how music affects people, and how we've always talked about how much music moves people, and it can make you kind of like Powerful Love Song. It can make you laugh, make you cry, and all that kind of stuff. It really can, and it also can help you. A lot of times we can't say the things we want to say to somebody.
Yeah.
But a song, that writer wrote that song, and it's exactly what we want to say, and it fits that thing. So it's almost like, here, listen to that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to say this, but I can't. But listen to that song, and then you'll understand.
Yeah.
But recently, in the last 10 years, I've had a different. I've dealt with things differently, and for instance, I felt like I was having a heart attack. Mm-hmm. I had every symptom of a heart attack except my arm going numb. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it woke me up in the middle. It was like 3:00 in the morning, and I'm like, hard to breathe, chest hurts, super tight, like my heart's just pounding, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And you do that quick. Okay. This is going wrong. This is going wrong. This is going wrong. I was sweating. I mean, I'm like, I'm going to die right now.
Yeah.
This is it. Heart's going to explode and I'm done. I look over at Ashley. She's asleep. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to wake her up. I'm just going to let her sleep. I don't want to bother her with it.
Yeah.
And so I just rolled over and was like, and kind of waited it out. And then it kind of slowly subsided and I went back to sleep, woke up, in the morning. Fine. Not one issue.
Yep.
So I didn't say anything. So things like that would happen throughout the day. Didn't matter. I was driving the car, going to the grocery store. Didn't matter. On the bus, getting ready for a show, it would start happening. And I'm like, I'm going to die on stage. This is awesome.
Mm-hmm. What a way to go.
This is it. Lights come up and I hit the step. I'm done,
Yeah.
What a way to go. And finally it started to kind of scare me a little bit. And I'm like, okay, maybe there's an issue that I need to fix. Maybe I got something wrong with my heart or something. Yeah. And I can, need a bypass or a stent or something. Who knows? I don't know. And, so I tell Ashley, she was taking me to the airport. I was getting ready. Here it is, because this is what I do. This is how I am. she's like, what's wrong with you? You've been kind of weird the last few weeks. And I'm like, yeah, I just been a little off and, a little stressed out about the career and, and business and everything. And I said, man, I've just been having some chest pains. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah. So I kind of tell her. And of course, we're on the way we're pulling into KCI. She's getting ready to drop me off on a plane to fly to a gig. And she's like, excuse me? And I'm like, yeah, we'll talk about it when I get home.
I've had a series of mild heart attacks.
Yeah.
But, nothing.
I'm good. I'm all right. You know what I mean? So she immediately, I'm not even out of the car. She calls my road manager, Randy. She was like, you watch my husband. He's been having chest pains. He's doing blah, blah, blah. Well, Randy freaks out. Oh, my God. He's like, what? Okay. So
is he the one that we called?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He flips out and I'm like, I'm fine. It's okay. I think. Don't freak out. Get on the bus, do another show, fly home. Wife picks me up. We're talking. How you feel? I'm okay. Still having those chest things? Yeah. When was the last one I said, right now. She's like, oh my God. So we go straight to St. Luke's Hospital.
Yeah.
My wife is on fire, dude. She's so mad at me. I'm like a little kid. She's dragging me like a little kid.
By your ear.
Oh, she's like, he's having chest pains. And, should we blow through the doors? Like, dude. She's yelling, he's having chest pains. And the lady at the counter, she's like, right this way. They open the door, throw me on a gurney, pull my shirt open, and I'm like, I'm fine. Oh, she's all kinds of, they hooked me up to all these electrodes and buzzers and beepers and, and I sat there for about 30 minutes and then doctor comes in, take my blood pressure. Blood pressure's perfect. Are you having chest pains? Yeah. Okay. Right now. Absolutely. They're watching the heart thing. They're like, it's not showing anything.
Yeah.
You're not, your heart's resting, your pulse is good. Your blood pressure's perfect. And so he sends me to a heart doctor, so I go through all this rigmarole to make sure my heart's okay,
Sure.
It's good. And come to find out I have anxiety.
Yeah.
And I've never had it before in my life. So, but the doctor told me, he said, anxiety comes in a lot of forms. It comes in sickness.
Mm-hmm.
You can get sick, physically ill, throwing up, running fevers.
Yep.
You can get depression is a big part of anxiety.
Yep.
And then they just keep fighting back and forth. Depression about you're depressed about having anxiety, and anxiety now you're anxious about having you know what I mean. So they just kind of fight each other, or it comes in what would be a heart attack or feel like a heart attack or things like that. So I was having that issue because I guess I was bottling everything up. Mm-hmm. I haven't had one, knock on wood, for years. It's been like 3 years. That's since that happened. Almost going on 4 years since that's happened. I've let a lot of things go. Mm-hmm. I've just kind of, and probably things I shouldn't have let go, but I did anyway, just because I'm like, I got to get rid of that, or something real might happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, now I try to talk. I still don't talk very well. I still, my wife, I feel bad for her because she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing, I'm good, and I'm lying because I'm, but I tried, I don't want to bother her. I mean, she's worried about the kids and she's worried about the dog and the house and how, all that stuff. And I'm just like, you know what?
Right.
I'm okay. Just if something's real bad and I got to talk, then I'll talk.
Mm-hmm.
She's got enough on her plate to deal with, so I vent to friends and things like that. But music always kind of helps me also. Sure. And there's songs.
Like, is there a particular artist you always kind of like go to?
Sometimes. So, it's kind, and this might sound weird. There's some country artists, but for whatever reason, I'm a huge Journey fan.
Mm-hmm.
And listening to Journey stuff, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have to be Open Arms or Faithful or anything like that. It's just listening to their music, and I get lost in their music more so than the lyrics. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like I listen to the piano parts. I'll focus on the piano parts. I'll focus on the guitar parts. You know what I mean? I try to pick out little intricate guitar parts in songs that maybe I'd never heard of, but for whatever I listen to Journey a lot.
Yeah.
And then I'll go back to artists that growing up were, my heroes. And as far as that goes, the Diffies and the people like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go back and I listen to their stuff. Things that I've heard, and I pick songs that I know fit the mood that I'm in. Yesterday, I guess, right?
Yeah.
You said, because we kind of discussed this a little bit, and then you said music, not so much for you on certain things like that, but you were talking about comedy.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And when you said that, I got to thinking, and if I'm in a bad mood, I want to hear something funny, or but it really, I really thought, and I got online and I started looking it up, and I can't remember the guy's name, and my phone's not working correctly anyway, so I couldn't even find it again, probably anyway. He's like a life coach or something.
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins. But he's like a life coach, and he does athletes and things like that, like a bunch of athletes and maybe stars too, like movie stars and whatnot. And he fixes. Now he's not a doctor. He literally he was a professional athlete or something, and so he's been in some situations that they have been in, so he can talk to them. Sure. On that level as far as business. And he said basically he fixes them mentally, so they can go play the sport that they're supposed to. He had a I don't know, he never mentioned his name or even the sport that he played, but the guy had a few career injuries, big injuries, came back from them, played, got injured again, came back from it, played, got injured again, and then was a high draft pick in whatever sport it was in, and then he started bouncing from team to team to team to team to team, organization to organization. Well, the money started dropping, and business started being bad for him because he was prone to being hurt. Yeah. He was a great athlete and a great player at whatever sport, but it was pretty cool to listen to it. And he said something about laughter. And it is a medically proven that laughter helps you. It's good for you. It's good for your body. Laughter is good for your body because we're like electrical beings, kind of. We have those energies, and whatever vibrations that laughter creates in our body is good for us. And so. He said that's a big part of his thing is laughter and and things like that. So it made sense when you said that. So for you, how do you? What is your
go to?
Yeah, like how do you deal with certain things like that? If it's not so much music, and it's more comedy, what is it that you kind of do?
There's one video in particular I'll always go back to. It's I can't even think about it without laughing because it's the dumbest thing. But did you ever watch any of those Comedy Central roasts? Well, they did one a bunch of years back for Bob Saget, and of course, as you would imagine, it's like the most just blue, vile humor throughout the entire thing. Except for, hands down, my favorite comedian, Norm Macdonald. Yeah. He was, as it turns out, he was reading from this, 1930s joke book. Right. Like these just... Susie Essman, I think think that's who the older lady, she was on the dais over there. And it's like, Susie Essman, some say you're over the hill. I say baloney, not in the car you drive. And of course, there's like just this smattering of laughter out in the crowd, and just like, everybody's just looking like, what?
Like more, yeah.
And like one, he's talking about Bob Saget's like, you have a face like a flower, a cauliflower, and just stares at him, and everybody's just
like
little by little, people are catching on, what he's doing, and for some reason I'll be laying in my recliner watching that on TV, and I will be just in physical pain, doubled over, laughing so hard where my guts hurt. And just that's the one video. I don't care how bad of a day I'm having.
Yeah,
that's the video pulls me out every time.
Yeah, like I said, I know laughter is a really, really good thing for people, and they say that it's the medicine that cures everything, or whatever, however they say it.
Yeah.
It'll cure almost anything. Laughter will, and I believe it. I mean, I can be in a foul mood, and something makes me laugh, or it's funny. It's a great way to start my day.
Yeah.
I'm on. I'll get on TikTok and just watch funny TikToks.
Yep.
Just to laugh.
Yep.
There's so many good ones, and they're stupid. I'll show them to my wife, and my wife's like, "That's not funny," and I'm like, "No, it's hilarious."
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're dumb," and I'm like, "Yeah, maybe." So.
Same conversations at my house.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. To me, and like I said, I have some friends that are in law enforcement and, first responder friends and things like that. And I know they have a lot of outlets to use if they've seen something or been involved in a tragic thing in their line of work. I know they can go get help. And some of them do, some of them use it, and some of them don't. And we usually hear of those people, offing themselves or whatever. And it's like, oh man, if not that anyone could have saved them, or not that anyone could have made a difference in what was going on, but it's just like, if they would have just tried to reach out to somebody just to talk about it, to get a different perspective, whether it helped them or not, at least try, and I know that's harder than, it's easier said than done. But it's kind of like depression. Depression is one of those things that when you have it, it takes many shapes and many things. Like, look at Don Harmon. Remember Don Harmon from Channel 4?
Yeah.
When you would see that guy out, jovial, good, happy, fun, loving guy. My buddy played softball with him.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, it was great. It was fun, blah, blah, blah.
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody was more jovial than that guy.
Yeah.
Or to the public. Anyway.
To the public. And that's, so we don't know behind closed doors what was happening or what was going on or in their life. But, you see those kind of people and you're like, my God.
Yeah.
How come?
Yeah.
Did he not have anyone to talk to?
Yeah.
Did they not think that they had anybody to talk to? But our country is very, and right now, especially right now, the COVID thing has messed so many people up.
Yep.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Just in depression, and from the kids not being able to go to school with their friends, that weighs on a kid.
Yeah.
The kids need that interaction, that social interaction that helps them grow.
Yeah.
And
social media doesn't help. I mean, dude, just scrolling through that's like a dumpster fire, man.
It's all it is. It's crap. 99% of social media is shit.
Yeah.
And the 1% that's good is hard to find.
Yeah.
But it's like our country doesn't have a lot of outlets for mental health issues. and we don't even talk about it hardly.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see cancer and you'll see these other big time things,
Sure.
but hardly ever do you see mental health issue commercials,
Yeah.
or hardly ever do you see these little things. And you know, there's no big mental health facilities anywhere. You know, there's giant cancer treatment centers, you know, Mayo clinics and all that stuff. Where are the big giant mental health clinics and facilities?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where are those? So people like you and me who might be battling depression or anxiety or something like that, or some other issue.
It's still like a stigma.
Yeah.
Like if there were like a big mental health hospital, you know, I mean, who
would really want to go?
Who would really want to go? And
I saw him. I saw them.
Did you see Tate was going to the mental health hospital?
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
he must be trying to kill himself.
it's still right. You know, I mean, there's still that stigma,
right,
around
and there
it.
shouldn't be,
and there shouldn't,
and there shouldn't be, because so many people are dying that needed help, and and somebody could have helped them. You know, maybe not.
Sure.
Sometimes,
well, you know,
sometimes
not.
Sometimes
you know, but I mean, I think a lot of the times, like you get, what is it? Right brain creative types, isn't that right brain, left brain?
I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure that out.
Whatever
neither one of my sides they'll work. They don't work that well.
Whatever the creative type, right brain. I think it's right brain. Anyway, those people, they have like this. Like me personally, just coming from me, I'm one of the right brain. Like, oh, you know, I always feel like I need to be creating something, or you know,
right.
However, and sometimes I feel like if I'm not really feeling up, you know, if I'm feeling more down than usual, that's when I need to try to make somebody laugh, or try to, you know. And I think with, like, I mentioned Robin Williams a while ago. I mean, that could very well be, you know, people are in some serious pain, but don't really just want to talk about it.
Or that's the way they show it by making you laugh.
Yeah. And that's the way they feel like they're helping themselves by doing that.
I'm doing something good for them, which makes me feel better, or should feel better.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, possibly so. Yeah, I mean, you could be 100% right. I know that selfishly enough, I got to say, I guess, selfishly enough, when I'm on stage performing, singing and stuff, and like I said, you see that one person that you got to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether they like your music or not, but you got to them, that song, whether you wrote it or not, whatever, that song got them, and you won that person, right? You helped them through that time or whatever. Selfishly, that's my win, right? I'm like, look at me go.
Yeah.
If it's only one person, I did my job, right?
Sure.
What I'm supposed to do, or what I think I'm supposed to do. Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, so maybe, you know, and depression, I've you know, I fought depression for a long time, and in a few different forms, you know, with the anxiety and all that, and I think that was kind of the turning point of my just kind of letting things go. I'm not a big medicine taker, you know what I mean?
Me either.
I'll take Advil. You know what I mean? If I got a headache or something, you know what I mean? I'll take some Advil or whatever.
Acid.
Yeah. Oh, acid. No. Advil. Oh, you drop acid. That's perfect. No, that helps your headache. But you know what I mean? I don't really take a lot of medicines, you know. My poor wife has to take like 25 pills every morning. It's like she's got her little pill thing, and she's the green ones and the blue ones and the purple. I'm like, wow, you rattle when you walk. You know what I mean? It's weird.
I can hear them in your guts.
Yeah. So I'm just I've never been a medicine kind of person.
Yeah.
You know, it's I'll take antibiotics if I have to. You know what I mean? But it's like I don't even like doing that. For whatever reason, it kind of, I don't know, just don't like to.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to have to take medicine. You know, I didn't want to have to go to the doctor and go, hey, I'm going crazy in my head. I don't know why. I feel this way and this way, and some days I feel this way.
Yeah.
So, what do you got? What little pill you have to help me out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to, but so I know people take things for anxiety, depression, and all that stuff, which is great. And if it helps them and that's what they need, good.
Yeah.
Take them. But for me, I'm like, okay, you're stronger than this. You're mentally tougher than that. You've been trained, growing up an athlete, wrestling and football and things like that. You know how to get through adversity.
Yeah.
You've worked through adversity before. Do it now. Soul search a little bit and become better.
Yep.
Right. So that's what I did. But sometimes I just let it go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I don't need this anymore. I'm just going to let it go.
Yep.
And I let it, like I said, maybe I let some things go that I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have cared a little bit more to let them go, but I didn't. I just let it go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I felt better instantly. It was like, people are like, oh man, I felt like a whole load of weight was lifted off my back.
Yeah.
Truly how it felt. When I just said, I'm done. I'm not doing it. I'm not worrying about it. I don't care. I'm not gonna care enough about it to worry about it.
Yep.
It was over. And I'm like, well, I felt like, okay, hey, that's cool. I like the way that feels.
Yeah.
Now, not that it, just was that day, it was over and everything is 100% better, but it got better that day. And every day since, it's gotten better and better and better and better.
Yeah.
And, so, for me, that's how I did it. And just kind of soul searched and said, hey, you're stronger than this, mentally stronger than this. Not smarter, but stronger.
Yeah.
Not a lot of smarts, but man, it's strong up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things for me. That's how I had to do it. And
that's big. Letting things go is big. There's which I mean, a lot of them are stuff me and you have talked about over the time, but just even in the musician community here in Kansas City, there have been times where people have done stuff to, what's the best way to put it, really offend me.
Yeah.
And I held a lot of ill will for a long time, but after a while it's just like, oh,
who cares?
Who cares? It's just when I discovered the art of indifference. It's like, okay.
Yeah, very indifferent.
It's like there's some people out there in the community that I don't really like them, but I don't hate them. I did, but I don't hate them. It's just one of those things. They're there, and I don't care.
Absolutely. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I believe that's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe if you talk to somebody else, they would be like, no, you need to forgive them and let that go. Forgiveness is blah, blah, blah. Sometimes not for me.
When this comes out, my phone's going to blow. Like, dude,
did
we
I
cool?
make you mad?
We cool?
Hey, we're cool, right? You weren't talking about me, right? No, but you know what I mean? No, I 100% agree with you. And there are people that, have offended me. Let's say that was a good word. Offended me.
Yeah.
And I'm done with you. I don't ever have to speak to you again.
Yep.
You could just go away forever, and it would be I wouldn't even know. You know what I mean? I can write people off like that. Yeah. I have that ability. Some people don't. Some people can't let people go.
Can't let it go.
Can't let it go. I'm done.
Yeah.
If I'm done, and especially if I tell you I'm done with you, if I'm like, look, I'm done, we're done here. You and me, we ain't cool.
Yep.
It's over. And there's no turning back. I'm just that person, and it's bad that I'm that person.
It's like there's some things you can't go back and unsee.
Yeah.
You can't undo some things.
Yeah, and you can't. And I'm that guy that says I'm done. And when I'm done, I'm done. And it's over. And there's no getting back. There's no coming back around.
Sure.
You can apologize, and your apology means zero to me. Because I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care enough to even accept your apology. Because I've already done it. I've already cut the tie, and we're done.
Yeah. Did I tell you the other day about my Facebook memories?
About the the Scott Ford and Daryl thing? Yeah.
It's on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Like usually every day I'll jump on Facebook just as a, waiting on my work computer to boot
Right.
up or something. And the first thing that comes up is your Facebook memories.
Right.
And first memory was from last year, New Year's Eve. It had Daryl,
Yeah.
my cousin, posted. He was, they were live streaming my acoustic show.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we couldn't make it, but, just watching it and, whatever. And I was like, and then the next one down from that was Scott Ford at my New Year's Eve show saying, watching my longtime friend AJ playing a thing. And I saw those two things and I just like...
Tough, man.
It was tough.
And if you don't know, so AJ, tell the story.
Scott Ford, he's a singer or was a singer-songwriter here in Kansas City. I've known him forever, it seems like.
Yeah, a long time.
Long time.
Yep.
And last year, he came to my New Year's Eve show at the Landing in Liberty, and just an acoustic show, and apparently rounded up a bunch of people to come watch me play and everything, and it's always been super cool to me and whatnot. And then later on that night, on his way home, died in a car wreck.
Yeah.
And just those two Facebook posts right back to back, dude. What a kick.
Yeah, and Daryl, the other
right
memory, his cousin Daryl just passed a few weeks ago from COVID. So
yes.
So it's like, wow, man.
Yeah.
That's a good that'll punch you right in your face when you pull those up.
And when the whole Daryl thing finally set in the other day, I was scrolling through a TikTok video, and he's a preacher's kid.
Yep.
And Reels or TikTok, one of those two things. I was watching a video, and I was like, I gotta send that to Daryl. I hit the share button and started to text.
Yep.
And that's when it just like that. I think definitively that's when it officially set in for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And good thing I was by myself, because I just absolutely I lost it.
Yeah, man. But you know what? And that's like I said, that's how it works. And like I said, people grieve differently. People handle things differently. Mm-hmm. I know I handle things a lot differently than most people, but that's how I've dealt with things, lashing out like that.
Yep.
Especially on the emotional side.
Yep.
Because I'm not, I'm soft in that way. Like I said, I'm a crier,
Yep.
Today watching that show, probably not the saddest show ever, but it just got me. And I'm like, man, big old tears, and I'm like, all right, I got to quit watching this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's little things like that.
Yellowstone season finale.
No.
Did you watch that yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was good. It was a good one.
There's going to be another season.
Yeah. Yeah. There's going to be another one.
I'm afraid it's going to be like Walking Dead, to where you're watching it, you're like, oh, this is, but we have to keep watching. We have to keep watching it, because we've watched
all 45 episodes.
4 seasons so far.
Yeah. So,
but
Sight
squirrel.
Squirrel. Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one.
BetterHelp.com. They advertise on a lot of podcasts I listen to. BetterHelp. It's
okay.
So I mean, they're not a sponsor or anything, but
no, but I mean,
it's supposedly it's like very quick, and they pretty good about pairing you up with the right kind of therapist and stuff like that. So I've heard on the ads. I don't know anything about it, but
right. BetterHelp.com.
BetterHelp.com.
Well,
so
if you listen to this and you need something and this sparks something in your head that says, hey, maybe I should go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Go talk to someone. BetterHelp.com. Go there. See if they can help out. Somebody will help you. I'm sure somebody can help you.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. You can go to a hospital. I know you can do this. You can go into a hospital and just go up to, somebody in the hospital and go, hey, I need help mentally. I need somebody to help me go to a place that can help me. Can you point me in the right direction?
Yeah.
And somebody will help you. They will find somewhere for you to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll give you phone numbers and doctors and things like that to go to. So,
or if anything, just wander into a room where people can't get out of their bed and just talk. are they going to go? just find a room with somebody that can't leave, you know? Hey.
And hey, captive audience.
That's right. That's how I deal with grief. Is really inappropriate humor.
Right
Oh,
on.
good
Well, you can
grief.
always do that too.
Good
You can
grief.
always
Yeah.
do that too.
Yeah.
Ah, my God. Anyway, well, I know this has been kind of a bummer of a conversation, but you know what? I think it's needed to have, and we needed to have it, especially, you know, again, we're talking about things that have hurt us and in the recent days, and you know, unfortunately, I think there could be more to come of that in the near future, and it just sucks, man. It's a bad time, and you know, right now for everybody, not just, you know, our short little circle of people that we know or whatever, but I know there's tons and tons of people are going through some bad times. So if you're going through bad times, man, talk it out.
Yep.
If you can't find somebody to talk, man, talk to a stranger. Sometimes those are the best people to talk to.
Right.
I've talked to so many people on airplanes.
Dude, they have no agenda.
It's just,
You know,
we just
I
start
mean,
talking, and sometimes, I mean, you can always tell the people who are like, shut up, don't talk to me, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
But I've met so many super, super great people on airplanes that are just, and they'll talk, you know, because they need it too.
Yeah.
You know, start just, you know, small talk, conversation stuff, and then all of a sudden, boop, right into something heavy. And then they go and they tell you and you tell them, and you get off the plane, you're like, man, good to meet you.
Yep.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Awesome. And I've many conversations with people on planes.
Yeah.
So, you know, like total strangers are sometimes some of the best people because they have they have no idea what you're talking about, who you're talking about.
Yeah.
So they're not mentally invested in any of it.
Right.
You know, they're not emotionally invested in anything that you're talking about. So they are literally just taking it in, and it's just another perspective coming out, you know. And
sometimes those are the best.
Yeah, and, you know, like I said, I think if you can talk it out, that's a great it's a great thing to do to get it off your chest. Just talk to somebody about it,
Absolutely.
regardless of what it is. And if it's real bad, and you need, you know, not only medical help or, you know, not just emotional help, you might need medical attention, or you might need, you know, protection of some sort. You know, people will help you. People can help, and you know, there's still a lot of great people that will help, and that care enough about people. You know what I mean? Go to a church, any church. I believe you can walk into any church as long as there's somebody in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And say, hey, I need help. I just need to talk to somebody.
Yep.
And there's not one preacher in this world. Well, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say.
There might be a few. That would be like, well, how much money you got?
Yeah,
It's going to cost you a little bit. But you know what I mean? But most of them would be like, sit down. You don't need a drink. Let's talk.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And probably point you in a pretty good direction. You know? So, well, I mean, like I said, it was a little heavy today, but it's all right, man. Sometimes it calls for it.
Yep.
You know, I think. I feel better. I don't know. I feel better about talking about things like that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think that's going to be it. Remember, subscribe to our channel. Leave us a review, a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast, and share. You can't share this enough with your friends. And have them share it. Even if they don't listen to podcasts, just have them share it.
Yep.
You know, so anyway, all right. Well, thanks for stopping by and taking your time. We appreciate it a bunch. And always, we'll see you next time.
Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey, guys, thanks for listening. Want to ask a question for a future episode? Well, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter with hashtag Sweet Life Podcast. And be sure to give us a 5-star rating and hit that subscribe button. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to stay up to date on the latest news and information for the Sweet Life Podcast. And we'll see you next time.